What's all this sad poetry in your notebook, boy? I know you felt down. It's good to get it out. Yeah, it's good to get it out. But these lines, they don't rhyme with the ways that I know you. The feeling will go with a simple.
I was in high school when I first heard about my parents' love letters. My dad's always been pretty shy, so it was amazing to hear that he bonded with my mom through his letter writing.
I lived for them because it was so hard for me when he went away, because he thought he was doing me this great favor, giving me this year of freedom. So he tells me that was for me. I didn't want it. So to have that connection to look forward to was really exciting. Every morning in school, high school, we'd be, okay, another half an hour we get to go for lunch. And there'd be just enough time to run down the road from my school, see in the mailbox of my house so I could see if it was open and there was mail inside, and if there was, I'd just book it down the hill, grab the letter, and then my afternoon was taken with visions of Scott so far away.
I was just pouring my heart out, as a 18-year-old would do. Not being a really off the top of my head sort of person, I found the letter writing to be a nice way of communicating, to give me time to think about what I wanted to say.
He was so open and honest in what he wrote about. They were beautiful letters, and it's so funny looking back at them many years later, because I can still remember how I felt reading those and thinking, oh, I wish I knew that you really felt like that, and that you weren't just saying those things for whatever reason.
So there I am out of the blue, working away up in my office, and Karen came to me and said,
Guess what?
a classmate from Texas has contacted me that there's something about us in the newspaper.
Well, I came home from the end of a really long day, opened my email very late at night, and there was a series of emails in there from a bunch of people I had known in high school and I had had no contact with at all for, forever. But the subject lines all had to do with my being famous.
One morning, just as I was about to leave the house, the phone rang. And being somebody who just can't let the phone ring without answering it, I answered it. And this voice said, this is radio station from Orillia. Is Scott Burwell there? And I said, no, Scott Burwell doesn't live here now. Did he ever live in Orillia? And I said, no, but his wife is from Orillia. So the next question was her first name Karen? Yes. Did she live on Coldwater Road? Yes. Well, that house has just been torn down, and before it was torn down, somebody went in to check everything, and they found these letters at the back of the cupboard.
Letters look for a home. Authors of love notes found in attics sought.
Within a few days of hearing about that, it was a barrage of phone calls, emails, calls from my mother, requests for radio interviews, requests for comments from my university, all a bit overwhelming.
People in the weirdest places have contacted me through other people to say they heard about this, and oh, isn't that nice?
I couldn't remember the details of the letters, but I was a little worried that what they might contain might embarrass me, and I was in fact a little angry at the whole situation at the start.
Well, that was a bit of a downer, because I thought this was so cool.
It wasn't that they were just found and handed over. They were kept for a considerable length of time before they were returned to me.
I had information about the woman who wrote the article, so I phoned her and I said that I'd like to know the name of the person who has them. She gave me John's phone number and I called him, and we had lunch together, and then he gave me back the box of letters.
It's been a great pleasure, Karen, in reuniting you to a part of your past, but a part that has been with you to the present and will be for many years to come, the love that you and Scott share. May this little book bring many blessings and enrich the many more years you and Scott will share together. John Webb, September 26th, 2010.
I'm glad that they ended up in his hands and not somebody else's. How could you not love a man who writes this kind of stuff? Reading them after many, many years married, I know that he's not the kind of person who would ever have said any of that if he didn't really mean it. So it's so nice to be able to, every few years, go back and pull out a few of those and remember who we are.
Hearing Mom describe looking down the hill to the mailbox so she can run home from school to get the letter. She never said it in that amount of detail before. So that was cool to hear. And like when she was talking about my dad. She loves my dad so much. It's very nice to be in a family like this.
This, I believe, was from our first real date at the CNE. I was trying to win her a big bear, and this is the best I could do.
It all fits, it all clicks.
So this is when we were struggling as we were apart.
P.S. Only a week and a half, I hope. P.P.S. Every day my mind is always around you.
Oh. And it's empty too.
My dad usually keeps his feelings to himself, but if you give him some ink, some time, and a woman he loves, he'll open up and show you who he really is. Through the drama of writing love letters and having a stranger find them and return them to my father, I was able to see behind his curtain and into the depths of my parents' relationship. I even did a bit of long-distance correspondence with my own wife, only I mailed her videos instead of letters. Thanks for the idea, Dad.
Oh, every good thing, you could never find another. Like when one finds the other.
Burwells.
Make my heart sing.